upgraded when they
Alright.
reformed and became this new version of FireFly.
Let's go.
They actually ended up with the tap-off cycle, which is extremely unique. Basically, you take your combustion chamber where the fuel and the oxidizer mix, and then ignite and blah blah blah. You actually take and, for lack of a better term, you punch a hole in the side of the combustion chamber. You pipe some of that hot gaseous propellant, and you actually flow it through a turbine. You spin up that turbine using the combustion engine, using
Welcome
the combustion from the engine
to
the pumps, which is like the ultimate chicken and egg scenario.
today's launch.
How do you get the pumps running if the engine requires the pumps to run, but the engine itself is running the pumps? Like, it's the craziest thing ever, but it's actually a really unique, very simple, and extremely reliable system. FireFly has had, when I talked to Tom McCusick last year, they had just basically said they had the absolute best luck with this engine so far. At the making of that interview, they had not even blown up a single one throughout the entire testing campaign because the engine's just so simple and reliable, yet very high power. That's the cool thing, is you kind of get the best of both worlds. So I'm really excited about this. I think the tap-off cycle is an engine that I'm just excited to see fly. And I'm excited to see it fly with my own eyes this time. That's something really exciting. So, yeah, other than that, it looks like we might be having some problems with my camera. We might need to power cycle this camera here for a second, Ryan.
That aside,
But we've got a lot of things.
me just casually inhaling an entire taco.
Jack Fire, who is with
Today, we are here for the launch of FireFly Alpha. This is the official stream. We have an Astronaut stream. It is the only one I could find.
Their level of transparency and trust with media has just been absolutely
So,
incredible.
it's the one we get to use.
Come on yesterday, set up cameras. We've been out here for a couple days setting up cameras. It's just been incredible to work with this team, and the transparency.
And we are getting quite close.
Is confident and really that they're really excited about the system that they're developing, and it makes it easy for me to get excited because obviously I believe that you get most excited when you learn something about stuff, and frankly, I've learned a lot about this rocket in the past, but coming out here and seeing it in person, getting up close and personal when I actually touched it, I don't think I've ever touched an orbital rocket before, like right before it's about to fly. So I'm getting a little bit spoiled out here, but it's been very, very fun for them to be able to share that with us, and for making all that stuff possible. So it's just been an absolute pleasure. So here's from Alan B asking the important
So we all, you can hear the audio in the background. That is for multitude of reasons. Mixing from I want to know what's happening to just other stuff like that. So we are currently 22 minutes and 12 seconds from launch of the FireFly Alpha FLTA 002, launching from Space Launch Complex 2 at the Vandenberg Space Force Base. The description on this screen is not really descriptive of anything, because simply, it's actually very simple here. I did this one in about 2 minutes because I wanted to actually get started somewhat on time. I did. Because I was good. I did a good job. So yeah, so currently on screen, what you can see is the top of the rocket. And it's pretty good. You can hear Tim Dodd's voice. You cannot see his face. That is on purpose. His face is kind of up here, like literally right beyond my cursor. That is purposely off screen because, well, I mean, you should go check him out. He is amazing. I definitely look up to him, but he is not me. That, and also I don't want to be showing him on my stream.
Yeah, so this is actually a great question from Joshin, saying, did they ever release what went wrong with their first rocket's attempt? Yeah, we actually talked about it a good amount when I spoke with their former CEO, Tom McCusick, last year. I was actually standing with him right next to
So he's doing his stream stuff like he will be. As you can tell, we got here on time, at like the perfect times, like the rockets beginning to vent and whatnot. We're still kind of far in the countdown.
It actually rattled loose, and the pins sheared, and it ended up disconnecting from the power systems on the rocket, and it shut down engine 2.
Quite simply,
So that's exactly the failure that happened. Is just
Only like 20 minutes.
Engine 2 shut down. The vehicle
I'm still counting.
which was actually really impressive because the way the rocket steers itself.
Like it's gonna
each engine can actually only gimbal on a
be a
single
while.
axis. And there's 4 Reaver engines on the first stage, so basically a pair of engines can swivel Z axis, and the other 2 can swivel on the Y axis, and that provides your control authority. But when you shut
we all
down,
heal and running.
imagine like if you play Kerbal Space Program, it'd be really fun to see if we can do this with there's little Vernier engines in Kerbal. Shutting one down out of a pair would actually be.
So he's talking about a bunch of stream stuff. For your perspective, you can't really heal him. That's on purpose.
Also to their fuselage, because their fuselage held up under some extreme conditions. So they talked about that. I also was able to talk to Jordy, one of their lead engineers, the other day, and he actually mentioned that all they did to relieve this, because they said the connectors are actually, they recertified all the connectors. They said that the connectors were good.
So we all currently we are 18 minutes and 57 seconds from launch.
After the vehicle had gone through so much testing, that was their first vehicle to ever be tested out, and so it just gone through extra rigor, and it ended up being in a spot that was under pretty high vibration load. So they moved
I'm going
to move the connector and let the wire
leave that
be in that spot that was under the higher vibration
and focus on this. So if you do not know, let me pull this website up. I had it literally just now open. So you might have seen the previous alpha launch. The first one back in, I want to say it was October of last year. It's 2-stage rocket.
Slick 6 and Vandenberg out here. Vandenberg's such a cool place. And we do have NASA Spaceflight in the chat. Slick 6 was going to be Space Shuttle Discovery's new home.
But it's 2-stage rocket. Its first stage has 4 Weevil engines on it. The upper stage has 1 Lightning engine on it. It's a Taillox rocket. The top stage is a turbo pump fed. They're both turbo pumps. Stage 2 has 1 combustor. Stage 1 has 4, obviously. The first stage puts off thrust-wise in a vacuum. Okay. The thrust in a vacuum is 736.1 kilonewtons. Almost just 70.1. Dimensions. The rocket is a 1.8 meter dimension. It's nearly 30 meters tall. Pretty good sized rocket. It's 2 meter payload diameter.
So here, if you just Google search Space Shuttle Slick 6, this is one of those images. And come on, how cool! That reminds me of I had Lego sets.
He's talking about
Space Shuttle. For some reason, that just screams
other stuff right now.
Early 80s before it got canceled. So yeah.
An interesting message about bringing up Slick 6 because Slick 6 is not too far away from this.
Launching from Vandenberg, launching from the west coast, because you do go into those polar orbits. You go north-south. You go over the poles basically for most launches. And no human has ever been on a polar orbit. So if the shuttle had flown,
but
it's funny because the shuttle was the second opportunity.
We are here
Polar orbiting vehicle.
only 16 minutes from launch.
Would have been polar orbit
The rocket's
as well.
venting.
Space shuttle got canceled out here, so still no humans have ever gone into polar orbit. Yeah. So let's keep going here. Actually, maybe Andrew, if you have.
What the frick? Come on, YouTube.
Actually, we're talking a lot about Vandenberg. We did have the 30th.
So, YouTube just crapped itself.
The sky, the sea, I mean, everything has to be under consideration to keep
They got fixed.
So, we actually have a video that was sent to us from Space Launch Shuttle 30. We're going to roll that here and we can learn more a little bit about what they do.
Vandenberg Space Force Base's top priority is to assure access to space and safety for all of our launch partners, including
little video talking about.
The mission of Fire. FireFly is to make space for everybody. And what that means is to allow
What the fuck, YouTube?
access to space for even the smaller payloads. We're here.
Okay, if you were here yesterday, you know how smooth it was running. It wasn't buffering at all. Today, it just does not want to run.
Astronaut. This is from Chris L. I'm impressed that Everyday Astronaut have managed to get from SLS launch in Cape Canaveral in Florida to Vandenberg, from Vandenberg from Cape Canaveral, Florida to Vandenberg, California. Even Google can't calculate the distance. It's very far. Ryan and I, from Cosmic Perspective, drove it in basically 3 full days, and then we had 2 little, we had kind of like a little half-day situation. But we knocked it out of the park, driving an old news van across the country. That's how we're able to provide you guys this feed. It was quite the journey, but yeah, it's definitely worth it, because here we are looking at a vehicle that is looking good to launch. So let's see here. This is a good question from Jonathan. Will you be able to see this? You knew exactly where to look, and you
Great, now it's doing this.
And you had really good eyes, and maybe you just knew exactly which direction to look. You might be able to catch it. You might, but because it is actually flying kind of southwest. But even daytime launches flying straight south are relatively hard to catch from Los Angeles. Nighttime's a different story. If this was night, I think it'd be quite a bit easier, but that is not the case. It is full-blown, bright blue skies, bright daylight out here. So I kind of doubt you'll be able to see it from California, or from Los Angeles, but I think you should try. I think you should try. Thank you so much from that taco guy for the gas money. We really appreciate that. From Ben Glasgow wants to know, if I were a rocket, what rocket would I be and why? Well, rockets are meant to fly. So I think, if I had to be a rocket right now, it'd be this rocket, because it's right about to fly. Why would you choose anything else right now? This is
we're 12 minutes from launch today.
About to take off, so I'd want my first
I don't actually know much about Alpha.
And I want to be the first in something.
I know it's carbon fiber. I know YouTube is freaking buffering again. I'm pulling the plug on almost everything. I'm literally going to close all of the stuff I have open that I do not need. Okay. YouTube, you no longer have an excuse. Yeah, YouTube, you have no excuse. So stop your whining and load. Sorry about this, guys. This kind of sucks.
I feel like this is an appropriate question. How is the internet in the Luna van? Is it fiber? Yeah, it is.
Okay, I don't think this is on my end,
fiber. We're
because
literally
I
trying to
am
do, I
running
think, about the
fine.
best internet you can have, and even despite that, sometimes things get ornery. We don't exactly know what that technical issue. Our next milestone that we're waiting for at this point is to hear confirmation of a good go no go poll, so we can give you guys any updates. We'll give you any updates that we have about the status of today's launch.
Wait.
You know, obviously that's what we're here for.
We are getting close again. We are 10 minutes.
Let's see.
Oh wait.
Again, I feel like I should answer this one more time. Just
Oh my god. I'm about to cancel the stream because YouTube just won't do its
what is the
goddamn
launch
job.
visibility like on the West Coast? You likely will not be able to see it.
It makes it about 5 seconds and then it freezes again.
You know, too far away. If you're too far away from Vandenberg area, from Lompoc, you know, you won't be able to. You probably won't be able to see it too far away. It is a relatively small.
There's no reason for this. This is bullshit. What is clapping?
Like, I'm just under 6 foot tall. I could walk straight down the fuselage of this vehicle. It's again quite large actually. The propellant for this vehicle is LOX and RP1. So we sometimes we'll call that Kerolox. So kerosene and liquid oxygen. That's what this vehicle uses on both stage. Then there's 4 Reaver engines on the first stage of this vehicle and 1 Lightning engine powering the upper stage, which is also tap. So this company's diving deep into the tap off cycle, which again I think is super cool, and I just can't wait to see it fly. So I didn't quite catch what they're saying on comms. Do we have any updates here? Confirm. I can hear it, but I can't talk and hear at the same time. I'm not that talented.
This makes no sense.
So, let's see. This is a good question here. This is something that the range gets to deal with. Being a new rocket, is there a bigger radius?
You know what? Here's what we're doing. We are experiencing technical difficulties, and of course it's at 8 minutes from launch.
It's the normal around the pad that's closed off in case something goes wrong to.
Let me try and fix these issues.
Job done. Granger, supplies and solutions for every industry. HughesNet satellite internet can help you stay connected, even out here, with fast.
I'm kind of getting some updates here, so I'm really excited because things are looking good. I just want to confirm to our teams that we have cameras rolling and things. We're going to be ready to go on our high-speed cameras. We have
Okay, this should work.
Everything looking good. So
The quality's a little worse.
let's see. So from Solaris, this is kind of something I talked about briefly. What major modifications have been made since the previous rocket? So that's actually what's pretty cool. To be honest, they didn't really have to upgrade or change too many things on this vehicle. Their design was really quite impressive right off the get-go. The vehicle was designed, you know, for orbit already, but they had the opportunity between Flight 1 and Flight 2 to kind of clean some, like for instance, the engine bay and some of the plumbing and wiring and things on a first dev flight, you know, were a little bit more like breadboard style, where you have easy access to things and they're easy to work on if there's, you know, a leak or something like that. Things are just relatively easy on the very first rocket, and they were able to clean some of that stuff up on the second rocket.
Everything's going to be done. I don't know. I do not know what that was about.
But hardware-wise, it's virtually the same.
But we're 6 minutes from launch. You can see the rocket there on the pad. And starts off for 5 minutes.
So we are about to see the strong back retract in about 20 seconds. So that's
so
the thing holding
in
onto the
20
rocket.
seconds, that strong back, it's right. It's literally, if you can see it on the camera, it's right next to the rocket, is going to extract. See, look, there it is.
Observing here in about 5 seconds, looking for that to recline just a little bit, which gives freedom and room for the rocket to lift off. So this is a really good sign. I just heard strong back retract is beginning. There it goes, clear as day. That is amazing. So yeah, that's a good sign, my friends. That is
so we are
so
definitely close to launch here, because that strong back retracting is basically a sign that they're still going. So we are.
Okay, so they they are, guys, they're going for it. They're T-minus 5 minutes.
Or T-minus 5 minutes, we'll still go for launch. If you are hungry and want to get a snack, now is the time to do it.
We have confirmation of that. That is looking fantastic. So yeah, you can see
You can
now,
see
you know,
some.
it
You can
gives
see
room
the
for
rocket
rockets to
starting
go
to get a little
vertical
weight.
and gives room for the umbilicals, which are how they fuel and power the rocket while it's on the pad. Gives those a chance to be able to be pulled clean and pulled away. So yeah, this is all looking good. Again, I had to admire just this is only their second launch attempt ever, and they're
T-minus 4 minutes and 30 seconds. Proceed, please begin.
We are 4 minutes and 30 seconds away from launch. This is the second ever time this company has tried to launch something, and they're going very well. So the reason it's on back with tracks on this rocket is so that the umbilicals that fuel and power the rocket, just like you were saying earlier, have clean retraction. Look at that engine cam. Those are the 4 levers I was talking about earlier, which will, in about 4 minutes, will be all 4 of them will ignite and lift towards the sky, like we saw in October when the last one launched.
FTRs are active and range is transmitting check channel 4.
Confirmed. FTRs are active and transmitting check channel.
FTS send.
We are in the middle of the go-no-go
to
pole.
all ESADs.
Arm 1 sent.
FTS send arm enable 2 command to all ESADs.
Arm 2 sent.
FTS confirm that all ESADs are enabled.
FTS confirms all ESADs are enabled. Fly safe.
You heard it there, guys. FTS is enabled. So flight termination system.
So the FTS has been enabled. That's not going to go before that was FTS enabled.
We have a
So
little tradition.
the
We need to check that the pointy
the
end
FTS
is
has been enabled.
is down. Let me tell you,
So they are definitely
one
ready
time
for
I
this.
was
We are
able-
3 minutes
I
and
can
17
confirm
seconds from flight.
from our end that the pointy end
Sit in there. It's ready to go. And we'll
that's
be
confirmation
going.
from me.
I think it definitely looks like it because
There's the
this is
pointy
the
end.
first attempt for this.
Boom. Pointy end up, flaming end down. From our end, us casual observers, this thing
Like
looks
seriously,
good to
this
go.
is
You
the
can see
first launch attempt for this. Like for this
fuel boost, so you
launch.
can see the
Like, they haven't had to
getting
scrub.
ready to cool down
That is
to be able to-
insane.
No-go at T-minus 2 minutes. Any no-go at this time is an automatic abort. Copy.
Cool. Okay, so we are currently sitting here, not.
T-minus 2 minutes. This is the final commit for launch.
This is a very big thing here. That T-minus 2 minute poll.
The T-minus poll. This is also commonly known as the go-no-go poll. This is basically, if the launch is going to get scrubbed today, this is when it'll happen.
Send it.
Launch director.
Go for launch.
Rock. 12.21. Confirmed. Buying off. T-minus 1 minute and 50 seconds.
T-minus 1 minute and 50 seconds, and I think that was all we'll go for launch.
I can't believe this. They're going for it already. Like,
Yeah, that was a go for launch. They are going for this
We're
now
T-minus
in
1
about
minute, 30
1 minute
seconds.
and 30 seconds.
we're looking go for launch.
So I am going to, in about 30 seconds, like I normally do for these, switch the audios so that the stream audio is louder than me, so that you can hear the engines and whatnot. I'm actually going to go ahead and start that process now. You can literally hear in my microphone. And what I'm now going to do is set this up to be positive 0.
Close alarm.
Abort.
Kind of more like
We have
down
these
zero.
2 PHS.
So now the stream audio is going to be
Abort,
louder
abort,
than me
abort.
when it starts really making noise.
Aborting.
You heard it, guys. We have an abort. We will stand by for more information on why that was.
And they just aborted.
Taking abort actions at this time.
So they do have a 4-hour launch window here today, so don't call it
Confirm there are
yet.
no fires on video. Confirmed. GC, please stop. Please close NV 598599 Alpha Bravo. BC, confirm the following pre-valves are closed.
Confirmed prevals are closed.
Helium bubble is active.
Bubble is active.
S1 fuel tank is maintaining between 30 and 36 psi.
Confirmed.
Verify all other tanks are vented.
Confirmed.
GC, please verify the T-tap tank is vented.
T-tip tank is
Is it below 100? We'll keep.
T-tip.
Strong back
Go
going
ahead.
back.
Please open TV 605.
TV 605 open.
Verify that the TVC tank is vented.
It's empty.
Verify swim system is vented and cavity purges are active.
Using boots.
VC, please verify the C-Rio is in the release safe state.
Sounds like a first case.
VC, please confirm C-Rio is in the release safe state.
Why did they abort? We're just going to say this real quick. They have aborted.
I have safe on the.
So you guys are hearing there. We are. You guys have heard that they have gone for they've called an abort, but again, they have a 4-hour launch window here. So that was right at the top, right exactly at the top of their launch window. They called an abort, and actually, again, this is only their second launch attempt ever. So there's a chance that they have an opportunity to reset, and hopefully we still have a chance to fly today. We will await a new T0 time here for you guys, and we will get you guys updated on that as soon as we know anything. But currently we are back in a hold, which means our teams here get a chance to breathe a sigh of relief because we are definitely running the scramble game. But yeah, holy cow! I thought, oh man, my heart was racing. My heart was absolutely racing. So well, this is an opportunity. This is what's fun about these kind of streams, is that we get to tell you guys, we get to chat and hang out. Because after all,
So just
spaceflight
update.
is
They
a
have
bit of
now
a
called
spectator
an
sport
abort.
for some of us here. We get
They
to
don't know why
enjoy
yet.
rocket launches, talk spaceflight history, talk
Being the fact that it was
aerospace,
right about
talk
a
rocket
minute
science.
before launch,
And
it was
we just
probably
I get to kill
something
time with
do
my
with
friends
the
here
engines.
as we learn what
As
exactly is going to be
commonly
happening here. So,
an abort that close
again,
to
we are
launch is caused by an engine issue.
and what's going to happen today in today's 4-hour launch window. So, again, thank you all. If you are watching, please continue to watch because hopefully we'll learn more about today's launch attempt, see if there's another opportunity in this window. But also, you guys, this is a really exciting opportunity for this launch company. I know it means the world. They literally have so many employees have come up to me and just said how excited they are to be able to share this with people and how much it means that people are watching the hard work that they get to do. I mean, I know I'm just simply a conduit to be able to provide this stuff to you guys. But really, you guys watching and cheering for this company just really means the world to everyone working on this vehicle. I've just had the opportunity and the pleasure of meeting so many people, and they all say that they're so excited that we can share this with you.
Yeah, so they've called an abort. We do
Let's
not
see,
know
let's
why.
see. Give a hand for them for aiming for minute like T0 right at the top of their launch window. A date that they've had in the books for months. That's impressive. That's genuinely impressive. So, yeah, thank you again to everyone for watching. Hopefully we learn more and more here, and we'll update you guys as soon as we can. But meanwhile, we want to give you guys a few extra questions here. So this is from Budarowski saying, Tim, what's the difference between the
Like I've
FireFly
said, we
Alpha
still do not know why an abort was called. We don't know if they're going to try to recycle. We don't know if they're even going to go through a refueling.
First rocket is their opportunity to learn a lot on a little bit smaller scale. The beta rocket will be a lot larger, and its first stage is virtually the same, at least at first, as Antares, and it uses much bigger tap-off cycle engines.
I'm keeping an eye on all that stuff.
So it's going to be a much
Twitter and whatnot to
much
see
powerful. So it doesn't even share the same exact
when that pops up on what happened.
Same engine technology, being that it is tap-off. So. Yeah, so, well, I don't know yet if we're going to see it first on Antares or if we're going to see it first as the beta rocket. I don't know. I'll try to learn about that, because that's going to be really exciting. I mean, seeing how developed this system is already for its, first attempts is awesome, so I can't wait to see it scale up and continue doing big things. But the cool thing is they definitely are wanting to fly this rocket and continue flying alongside of even larger rockets, because there is a demand for this larger, for the small sat rockets, but having a little bit more.
So currently on stream,
larger
we're just
small sats,
talking about
and even be able to use them in tandem, where
like,
we
they're just
really launch, like,
questions and
2
whatnot.
and still have a dedicated ride to very unique and particular orbits. That is a capability that ride sharing can't do. So They think there's a nice niche there. A lot of people think there's a nice niche there. There's a lot of upcoming rocket companies working on this exact market. So they think, by all accounts, they'll continue flying Alpha even when Beta is flying, and even as they continue to support Antares as well. So, are there cameras, onboard cameras on this rocket? Yes, there are. There are cameras on board the rocket. And yeah, that's something that's obviously pretty cool. We aren't able to show all of them, but we can show some of them in a particular time.
So if I continue this or not will depend on a series of things. The big one being are they recycling, obviously, and if they all win.
It's so fun seeing that that we actually have the cameras out here to really give you a good confirmation. Yeah, how cool is that? Let's see. Yeah, thank you so much, Mike Jennett. This great broadcast, Tim. Big shout out to FireFly team for all the hard work at Astra. 100%. Again, space is not easy, and we're seeing them knock it out of the park so far, just even getting this vehicle on the pad and fueled up and going for a launch attempt this early on. Very, very impressive. This is cool. I love seeing these kind of comments. This is from, I'm going to totally not say this name correctly, but Wissiv Rees says, "Hi Tim, thanks for inspiring me to pursue a degree in aerospace engineering." That's what this is all about. That's what Everyday Astronaut's all about, bringing space down to Earth for everyday people. Just helping you guys get excited about this stuff. For me, like,
So
literally, if I didn't have a YouTube channel,
basically what's happened is they have called in a bolt.
I'd be out here
Don't
just
know
totally
why,
hanging out. I would
don't
have
know,
probably a same
but
tent or an umbrella and a lawn chair, watching rockets fly. And just
don't know
shooting at them
anything
fly
really other than that they aborted it.
And my opportunity to be able to share this with you guys. Hope you guys come along for the ride and hopefully enjoy this as much as I get to enjoy it, which is an immense amount. This brings me so much joy. Seeing a rocket fly is one of my absolute favorite things.
So we'll
What's
see what
even more
happens.
exciting is when you learn how they work. When you learn some of the details that engineers get to, the problem solving they get to do, the little bits here and there of like all the little secrets of you know, even like things like liquid oxygen. It's just insane to me that there's fuel on board this vehicle that's so cold. You know, if you went up and touched the side of the rocket right now, your hand would like stick to it because it's so cold. Just all these amazing facts and things about spaceflight get me excited, and the more I learn, the more I appreciate.
Okay, so the abort was caused by weather.
hard people work and how
Probably
brilliant
downrange, maybe that
people
guy's
are.
blue.
There's humans out there that are just so
It's
insanely
looking
brilliant.
like crews are going to
And be able problem
attempt
solve and
a
make
1
something
hour
work.
reset
Orbit?
and try again at 7:06 p.m. Eastern
So,
time.
Yep, it's my pleasure. I love hearing that people are out there.
So
doing
here's what we're gonna
and
do.
working on degrees in aerospace engineering and things like that. Really makes me smile. So thank you for saying that.
I don't really want to sit here for an hour,
So this is
not
actually
really
cool,
talk
Thomas.
about
This is a fun
anything.
little thing. You'll
So
see
what
on
we're
screen
going
now
to
is
do is
A
we are going
or
to
alpha.
kind of,
The next letter next to it,
like,
there's
the
an
stream is
L,
still going to be up,
then there's a P, then there's
but
an H.
I won't be
Or
here
things
pretty much.
keep going, it goes back to A. So it actually, if you go around the rocket, it actually says Alpha on the 4 engine covers there. Fun little Easter egg. I think that's super cool. Yeah, which I just think is awesome. So
what we will do is that
as well. So,
simply
yeah,
at
let's get to a few more,
6:40,
again, thank you for those of you that are, you know,
I will
super chat
return
and
unless
community members.
something
I really
happens to me.
appreciate that stuff. That really helps us here. I don't know if I'm just, this is good for me. So I do this Maybe it's too
We are
warm
back.
up here, but you can see it.
We have overturned
Let's see.
from inactivity, you
Let's
could
see,
say.
again from Cadver wanting to
So,
know a little bit more about
what
tap-off
occurred?
cycles.
Well,
We've talked about it a
I
handful
was
of times.
quite simply
Definitely
gone.
say if you guys want to learn more
And the
about
answer
tap-off cycles,
is
I promise
not
you, if you
much.
watch, I have a video,
They've
titled
gone
How to
through
Power
part of the
Rocket
recycle. We are currently 30 minutes away from liftoff.
cycle types of rocket engines.
I'm going to check
Pressure
real
fed,
quick.
monoprop,
Do we
bipropellant,
know what caused
you know, hypergolic
this cool?
bipropellants, and you go into pump fed, you go into electric pump fed, and gas generators, you go into closed cycle, you go into fuel rich,
Answer.
oxygen rich closed cycle, or you go into
I
full
don't
flow. But
think
tap off
so.
and expander cycle are two other types of cycle types. And what's unique about tap off is that they literally basically take the high pressure hot gas that's inside the combustion chamber, and they divert that gas into the turbine of the turbine.
People were saying it could be weather, but now that's not too sure.
The exhaust gas of the
I don't know.
cylinder bank.
People saying it could have been an engine issue that looked like it could have popped up, but again, we don't know. What we do know is that we are currently 29 minutes from liftoff. We're just currently set for 4:20 p.m. East Western time. Ha 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 ha. It does not work that way for me because for me it's like 7:20. Much later. But we are currently on track for today's liftoff in roughly 30 minutes. We will see how this goes. How's everybody doing? Hopefully you're doing well.
Liquid oxygen into the engine. So that's what the tap-off cycle is. I go into a lot of depth in that video. I promise. If you haven't watched that one, that might be one of the most in-depth and one of the best walkthroughs of all of the different cycle types.
So, as per usual, we are on Everyday Astronauts video because, well,
I love learning
we are.
things whenever I make a video, a long-form video. And that's one of those where I still
But we
learn a
are
few things,
28
especially
minutes from liftoff.
chemical behavior.
Hopefully it goes this time.
Combination of heat,
Fingers crossed.
heat and pressure and mass flow and all these different things and how they actually is used throughout the system of a rocket engine. You do lose pressure, you lose heat in certain areas.
But we are
Transfer
on
from,
course.
say, heat energy into kinetic energy or velocity into kinetic energy, pressure into kinetic energy, all the kinetic energy. There's a lot of that in rocket engines, and I go through that in great detail in that video. So I promise it sounds scary, but it's actually really big. So, this is a good question from Donovan Stagg. Wanted to know any specific reason they are doing a retrograde launch, and what are the advantages? The advantages, actually, there aren't advantages. This is hard. This is actually harder for them technically as far as a capability of the rocket. They lose performance flying retrograde. But the biggest reason, this is a developmental vehicle. This is a demonstration of a brand new rocket that has yet to demonstrate